Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched your arms, tried to get out of bed, then felt that familiar stiffness in your knees, hips, or hands? That slow, nagging ache that makes you pause, take a breath, and wonder, is this just what aging feels like now? If so, you're not alone. For many people over 60, joint pain becomes a constant companion that makes walking harder, getting dressed slower, or even opening a jar feel like a struggle. But here's the truth that often gets lost in all the television ads and pill bottles. Joint pain doesn't have to rule your life. You're not destined to live in pain just because of your age. In fact, there are natural ways to reduce joint pain-safe, gentle remedies that actually work without the harsh side effects of medication. And today, we're going to talk about 5 of the most effective ones. These aren't quick fixes or magic tricks. They're simple changes and habits, things you can start doing today that can help ease the pain, bring back movement, and help you feel more like yourself again. Because life after 60 isn't about slowing down, it's about living smarter, with more comfort and freedom. Let's begin with something that sounds almost too simple to be true, but it's one of the most powerful tools you have: movement. Yes, gentle, intentional movement. When your joints hurt, it's natural to want to rest and take it easy. And sometimes, rest is important. But too much of it, that can actually make the pain worse. You see, our joints need motion to stay healthy. Without it, they stiffen, the muscles around them weaken, and the pain starts to take up more space in our lives. You don't have to join a gym or take up running. In fact, please don't. What works best is low-impact activity, things like walking at a steady pace, swimming, or even simple chair exercises. Just 20 minutes a day can work wonders. Think of it like oiling a squeaky door hinge. The more you move it gently, the smoother it gets. One woman I spoke with recently said she started dancing in her living room every morning, just 5 songs, moving however she liked. After a few weeks, her knees didn't creak as much, her hips felt looser, and her mood brighter than ever. That's the magic of movement. It wakes up the body, sends blood to the joints, and gives you back a bit of your freedom. Now, while movement is key, it's not the only piece of the puzzle. What you eat, what's on your plate can also have a huge impact on how your joints feel. Especially when it comes to inflammation, which is often the root cause of that deep, aching discomfort. Foods that fight inflammation can be like medicine, without the side effects. One of the best things you can do for your joints is to start adding more omega-3s to your diet. These are healthy fats found in foods like salmon, sardines, walnuts, and flax seeds. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation in the body, which means less swelling in the joints and more ease in your movements. Try this. Drizzle a little flaxseed oil over your morning toast or salad, or enjoy grilled salmon once or twice a week. Even a handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack can help. And while you're adding good stuff in, try cutting back on the things that trigger inflammation: processed foods, sugary treats, and too much red meat. Think of your joints like a garden. Feed them what they need, and they'll grow stronger, calmer, more resilient. But even with good food and movement, sometimes the pain lingers. That's where nature can give us a hand through something that's been used for centuries: turmeric. You might have seen this golden yellow spice in your kitchen, especially if you like Indian food. But turmeric is more than just a flavor. It contains a powerful compound called curcumin, which has been shown to reduce inflammation and joint pain naturally. You can find turmeric in powder form at the grocery store or as a supplement. Some people enjoy it in a warm drink called golden milk, made with milk, turmeric, and a little black pepper to help the body absorb it better. Others take a capsule each morning. Either way, It's a gentle remedy that works for many people. One man told me he started adding turmeric to his scrambled eggs every morning, and after a few weeks, he noticed he wasn't wincing when he bent down to tie his shoes. It's these little change-easy, natural steps that start to add up. A walk around the block, a change in what's on your plate, a sprinkle of spice in your morning routine. These are not huge sacrifices, but they can bring big relief. And perhaps just as important, they give you back a sense of control, because living with joint pain can feel frustrating and discouraging. But knowing that you have choice Caesarial, healthy choices, that's empowering. Now that we've talked about how movement, anti-inflammatory foods, and turmeric can make a real difference in how your joints feel, let's keep going. There are still more natural remedies that can help ease the pain and help you feel better every day. Another powerful remedy that's often overlooked is something most of us already do but not nearly enough of, and that's staying hydrated. It might sound too simple, but water is essential for healthy joints. The fluid between your joints, called synovial fluid, acts like a cushion. It keeps your bones from rubbing together and helps everything move smoothly. But when you're even a little dehydrated, that fluid starts to dry up, your joints get stiff, movements become harder, and the pain, it flares up more often. The problem is, as we get older, our sense of thirst becomes weaker. We don't feel thirsty until we're already behind. That's why it's important to drink water regularly throughout the day, even if you're not feeling particularly thirsty. Try keeping a water bottle nearby, or sipping a glass of warm herbal tea between meals. You can even infuse your water with slices of lemon, cucumber, or berries to make it more enjoyable. One woman I met said she never thought about water much, but once she started keeping a little pitcher by her favorite chair, it became a habit. And within a week or two, she noticed her joints didn't feel as stiff in the mornings. Small change, big difference. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Epsom salt baths. These aren't just relaxing, they're actually therapeutic. Epsom salt is made of magnesium sulfate, and when you soak in a warm bath with it, the magnesium can be absorbed through your skin. Magnesium is known to help reduce inflammation and relax sore, tight muscles that surround the joints. It's not just the salt, it's the ritual. Taking the time to slow down, draw a warm bath, and give your body permission to rest is healing in itself. You don't need a fancy spa or expensive products. Just a tub, warm water, and a handful or two of Epsom salt. Add a few drops of lavender oil if you like. Soak for 15 to 20 minutes. Let your body rest. Let the warmth soak into your knees, hips, shoulders, wherever it hurts. I've spoken with many folks who say they look forward to their evening soak. It's their quiet time, a moment to unwind, reflect, and let go of the tension that builds up during the day. And over time, they've noticed the pain isn't as sharp, the stiffness isn't as strong, and they sleep better afterward. And speaking of rest, we can't ignore the connection between sleep and joint pain. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it can make pain feel worse. When your body doesn't get enough rest, it doesn't have the time it needs to repair and reduce inflammation. You might have noticed it yourself. Those nights when you toss and turn, you wake up feeling more sore than usual. So how do you improve your sleep naturally? It starts with your evening routine. Create a calming ritual. Turn off bright lights, avoid screens, and try reading a book or listening to soft music instead. A warm bath, like we just talked about, can also help prepare your body for sleep. Make sure your bedroom is cool and quiet, and invest in a comfortable mattress that supports your joints. Some people find that placing a pillow between their knees or under their legs helps take pressure off sore spots. And if your mind tends to race at night, worrying about tomorrow, about family, about aches and pains, writing in a little journal before bed, just a few thoughts to clear your head. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is to put your worries on paper so you're not carrying them into your sleep. Good sleep is healing. It helps your body recover, helps inflammation go down, and gives you more energy to stay active during the day. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity, especially as we age. So far, we've looked at the healing power of movement, anti-inflammatory foods, turmeric, staying hydrated, and creating soothing routines like Epsom salt baths and better sleep. You might already be thinking, this sounds doable. And you'd be right. That's the beauty of natural remedies. They're not about making your life harder, they're about making your life easier. Because living with joint pain isn't just about dealing with discomfort, it's about how that pain can slowly take away your freedom, your joy, your ability to do the little things that used to feel so easy. And that's why every one of these habits matters. They give you some of that back. When you're able to get up from a chair without wincing, or walk to the mailbox with a little more bounce in your step, or reach for the top shelf without that sharp tug in your shoulder, it's not just your joints that feel better, it's your spirit. And while there's no one-size-fits-all cure, the beauty of natural remedies is that they work with your body, not against it. They support the healing that's already trying to happen inside you. And that's powerful. Let's keep going, because there's still one more natural remedy that ties it all together, one that's often forgotten, but maybe just as important as everything we've already talked about. There's one more remedy I want to share with you, Juan, that often goes unnoticed because it doesn't come in a bottle, a food, or a pill, but it's powerful, and that's connection. Yes, real human connection. You might be wondering, how does that help with joint pain? But the truth is, emotional well-being and physical pain are deeply connected. When we feel isolated or down, our body carries that weight. Stress levels go up, inflammation increases, and over time, pain gets worse. On the flip side, when we feel supported, valued, and seen, our body relaxes. The tension softens. Even chronic pain can become more manageable. This isn't just feel-good talk, it's backed by science. People who maintain social connections tend to have lower levels of inflammation, better pain tolerance, and higher levels of activity. Whether it's calling a friend, joining a walking group, attending a senior center activity, or even chatting with a neighbor on the porch, these moments of connection can lift your spirit and ease the burden on your body. One gentleman told me he started volunteering at a local food pantry after retiring. He said the aches in his knees didn't disappear overnight, but he noticed they didn't bother him as much when he was focused on helping others. It gave him purpose. It got him moving. And more than anything, it reminded him that he wasn't alone. And you're not alone either. There's a whole community out there, some you know, some you've yet to meet that understands what you're going through. And sometimes, just knowing that others are walking a similar path can make the load feel a little lighter. So, if you've been quietly battling joint pain, wondering if this is just how things have to be, let me gently remind you it doesn't have to be. Your body still wants to heal. It still responds to kindness, to movement, to nourishment, to rest, to connection. These aren't fancy cures or far-fetched solutions. They're simple, grounded ways of honoring your body one small step at a time. Start with one thing. Maybe tonight you take 5 minutes to stretch before bed, or tomorrow you pour yourself an extra glass of water. Maybe you dust off the old recipe for a warm turmeric soup. Or maybe you call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Every action counts, and over time, those little choices add up to big change. You deserve to move through your days with more ease. You deserve to wake up without that constant dull ache in your knees or that sharp pinch in your back. You deserve to feel strong in your own skin again. And it's not too late. In fact, this might be exactly the right time. If something in this video spoke to you, even just one idea, try it out. Give your body a chance to respond. And if you've already found natural ways to ease your joint pain, I'd love to hear about them. Share your story in the comments. You never know who you might help by speaking up. And if you haven't already, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Elderly Treasures. We're here to bring you comforting, helpful content every week made just for you. No hype, no pressure, just real guidance to help you feel your best. There's so much life ahead, so many beautiful days still waiting for you. And your joints? They don't have to hold you back. Treat them with care. Nourish them with movement, with rest, with the right foods, with connection. Because healing isn't always about getting rid of pain completely. Sometimes it's about learning how to live well with your body just as it is. Here's to walking with strength, standing with confidence, and living with joy at any age. You've got this, and we're right here with you every step of the way.